Hey, it's your girl Cassie King, and I'm coming back to you guys with another trending topic. Sorry about that, guys. So our next trending topic is going to be about the one and only Jason Lee. I said, okay, friend. Now, Jason Lee is going to be on our board of celebrity topics today because he's talking about the one and only Queen Beyoncé. Okay, so it's given very much so. Rumors are surfacing that Jason Lee had tried to expose Beyonce. Okay, so make sure that you guys comment down below, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you are notified every time your girl drop another video. Now let's get into the juice. There's a video surfacing the internet saying that Jason Lee exposes Beyonce's medical records and that the Carter Empire could crumble. Child, please, let me tell you something. One thing about the Queen, one thing about Beyonce, and not too much on her because listen, let me tell you something. I had to stop listening to some of her music. I feel like she be doing a little too much with her spirituality. But one thing about Beyonce, her private life is sealed. You ain't gonna get nothing on. You ain't gonna get nothing on Beyonce. So if Jason Lee got something, he better have some receipts, or it's given very much so hearsay. There's also another thing going around that since he opened his little mouth and started off this little rumor, or whatever the case may be, he just coincidentally went to jail for allegedly stealing millions. It said that he was arrested and that Beyonce, and he came on out and said that he felt like Beyonce and Jay-Z set him up because he spilled their little tea. Now that's what he said. But you know, one thing about Jason Lee, I like Jason Lee. I think that Jason Lee do be coming with facts and receipts. So if he got some little juice on Beyonce, then he need to be careful because you know they do some real heavy spiritual stuff. So let's get into it. It's a video that somebody had made by the name of Star Snitch. And let's go on ahead and see what they have put together on Jason Lee and his little messiness. Because you know Jason Lee is messy, y'all. Jason Lee is a podcaster who started off on radio. He's also been on reality shows. Jason Lee is a phenomenal individual, in my opinion. I think that I like the way that he talks. I like how he is as an individual. He has his own show. And he is, you know, he's a podcaster. He's a radio show host and he has his own thing now. He's doing his own thing. So the fact that people are, you know, discrediting him, saying that his tea ain't tea, you know, me personally, I don't know. We're gonna see what it's given. But Jason Lee has done many of interviews with big A-list celebrities, big people back in the day, and Jason Lee has been in the industry for years, y'all. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all tell me, do y'all feel like it's given tea or if it's not given tea? But he's a podcaster, reality television star. He's an entertainment business person, and he's currently serving as a vice mayor of Stockton in California. So you need to wake that up. Now, he's also the founder of Hollywood Unlocked and the former host of the podcast Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee. And he also has his own Jason Lee show. So again, they trying to say that Jason Lee was stealing a whole bunch of money in that little position he was holding as vice mayor of Stockton. They said that he was stealing millions of money, and he said that he feel like JayZ. Now this is what they said. He said we're gonna watch about two videos. I got to get up out of here, but they said that Jason Lee feel like he was set up by JayZ and Beyoncé, and it's probably because he opened his little pretty little mouth about some of their tea. Now, did he come with receipts? We don't know. We're going to find out. So, I don't know, Jason. You might have pushed it with this one. And you know what? You know he straddles that fence, but if he was heterosexual, I digress.
She's frozen mid-pose in a shimmering gold gown, fireworks cracking the sky behind her like a war zone of light. a stadium roaring her name, Beyoncé, the untouchable queen of perfection, commanding the Super Bowl stage with a kind of robotic precision that feels almost inhuman. That image is burned into the public's brain. Flawless, divine, untouchable. But according to Jason Lee, that glittering facade is about to be ripped wide open. While the world bows at every step she takes, he's whispering about a story the Carter camp has allegedly fought like a military operation to keep buried. And it doesn't start with Ivy Park or Billboard hit.
Know so much on how you got where you are.
Oh yeah, y'all. I don't know if you guys know about the bodyguard that allegedly he was her bodyguard. I don't know how true it is, but he came out and he was dropping a lot of fuzzy information about Beyoncé and saying some of the things that, you know, you would never even think. But basically, y'all, you need to go and watch this bodyguard's testimonies about Beyoncé as well, because he puts both of them in a very, very negative light. He makes them look like very dark, wicked people. This bodyguard that was supposedly with them for years. All I ever knew was Julius. I was like, who was this? But y'all comment down below. Y'all tell me. Anyway.
How you stepped on many people.
It starts with two children whose names are rarely spoken out loud, faces hidden like classified files, Rumi and Sir, especially Sir. For years, fans have been sliding into DMs, dark Reddit threads, and private stan chats asking the same question. Why is Sir practically invisible while Rumi pops up on stages, in campaigns, even on tracks? One ex-Parkwood insider, speaking off the record, claims Beyoncé's team runs a full-scale visibility protocol for Sir, timed social media windows, controlled paparazzi leaks, even pre-planned public appearances like chess moves.
No.
Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce, and they're not going to share that with her.
Yvette knows. I got the receipts. I still have the receipts.
And here's the real jaw dropper. Jason Lee is claiming he's seen sealed medical documents, files locked down under airtight NDAS, that allegedly paint a very different picture of why Sir has been kept so private. Papers that, if real, would suggest Sir may be living with a condition the public has never been told about, and that's just...
What's up with everybody keep talking about people's kids? If I would have known that, I would have just gone ahead and got up off of this, because I'm not even over the whole situation with Nicki and Cardi. I was upset. My stomach hurt. Why is people talking about people's kids? Come on now. Why are you worried about why she keep her son private? And what you looking at the medical records for? That's inappropriate. I don't like that. Somebody call the people.
Where the spark turns into a full-blown fire.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them.
Word from inside LA's high-end wellness scene says some of the wealthiest families are secretly running what insiders call invisible clinics. Hidden behind luxury walls, these spots aren't your regular therapy centers. They're ultra-private, invite-only facilities built for the rich and powerful. We're talking discreet treatment suites, on-call specialists, NDA-locked therapists, and security so tight, it makes the Grammy Green Room look like open mic night.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 40.
I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me.
And guess who's been reportedly seen coordinating high clearance visits in and out of one specific location near Bel Air? A face straight from Beyoncé's own inner circle. Her former assistant, the same one allegedly assigned to handle weekly obligations for the twins. That quote, by the way, came straight from a leaked itinerary Jason Lee claims to have screenshotted back in 2022.
I ain't worried. I ain't going nowhere. I'm telling you right now, I'm not playing this industry game.
Now here's where things get messy. Is this just a protective mother trying to guard her child's privacy from the madness of fame? Or are we staring at a power couple so obsessed with controlling their image that they'll rewrite their own reality just to keep the illusion alive?
Oh, no, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
Jason isn't backing down either. He's doubling down. He's flashing blurred corners of envelopes, cropped timestamps, and what he says are fragments of real medical documents tied to private specialists in Brentwood, pediatric neurologists, sensory experts, even behavioral analysts.
On what?
All of this is allegedly being run through middlemen with direct ties to Roc Nation's legal machine, a fortress built to fight off scandals before they even hit the blogs. If this is all a lie, it's a masterclass level fabrication. But if it's real, the fallout would make that infamous elevator fight video look like a lazy Sunday brunch rumor.
That the most Grammys, never won album of the year. That doesn't work.
Narrative. Not an open confession, not a press release, but subtle signals setting the stage for a Dear Human 2 reveal about how even the biggest superstars face family challenges. One veteran publicist who's been in this game for decades called it reputation insurance, might a backup parachute in case Jason Lee's alleged files really do go nuclear. The timing is what makes people's eyebrows shoot up. That new venture, Syrer.
That is finally revealed. 15 other will be revealed with it. And you will find that they were all committed by the same two people, father and son.
Some insiders believe it's not just a fresh brand, it's a calculated Trojan horse. A slow, careful way to slip Sir's name into the public eye without actually swinging the door wide open. And if you think that sounds too cold-blooded, just look at the marketing. The Davis in my bones. Come on. So while the public raises their glasses to the glitter and glam of that perfect Carter dynasty, Jason Lee is out here loading what he calls the certified receipts. He hasn't leaked full scans yet, but his tone has shifted. No more cryptic hints, no more baiting. He's speaking like a man who's holding proof, not rumors. And guess what? Beyonce's camp isn't sitting still. Sources claim her team has already started circling the wagons, quietly reaching out to friendly media contacts, the kind who know how to steer a story before it explodes. Several reporters have allegedly been asked to flag any coverage connecting Sir to health speculation. That exact phrase came straight from an email sent by a known Carter PR fixer. And yes, we've seen it.
Obviously, it's subjective because, you know, it's music and it's opinion-based, but, you know, something.
But here's where the plot thickens, because every story has two sides, and this one has two siblings. The world knows one side, Rumi, the twin we've been allowed to see. Super Bowl cameos, Ivy Park photo shoots, that soft, focused perfection that screams Carter legacy. She even made her musical debut on Cowboy Carter, and the picture-perfect prodigy with mom's magnetism and Blue Ivy's work ethic. But behind that polished image, insiders whisper about a growing pressure that's been building for years. Rumi's being carefully molded into the next generation Carter performer, carrying not just fame, but the silent weight of being the easier twin. And that word didn't come from the internet. It came from a family friend, overheard at an exclusive industry event, describing how the team manages the twins.
I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just...
Island red carpet photos, those choreographed backstage shots, that picture-perfect Super Bowl moment with Jay-Z and Grandma Tina. But take a closer look, a real close one, and the pattern jumps out like a spotlight. Sir is never fully present. Either he's missing entirely or hidden just enough to keep questions alive. In footage from past events, you can literally see security motioning photographers to move, subtly blocking angles whenever Sir appears nearby. That's not coincidence. That's choreography. Only seem to feed the rumors instead of shutting them down. And Beyonce, she's remained totally silent on Sir's development, which stands out even more because she's spoken openly in the past about her own mental health and emotional growth.
You to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams' Level Up Beyonce.
And here's the bombshell. Jason Lee says one of the leaked files isn't just a diagnosis. It's reportedly a behavioral and cognitive summary prepared for insurance purposes, detailing specific accommodations requested for Sir in educational environments. That means if the document's legit, the Carters haven't just been aware, they've been quietly managing his needs for years. Everything is picture perfect. In a world where celebrities...
Okay, I'm over that. Why does it matter what the twins' abilities are or development? Like, why does his develop, like, obviously they want to keep his development private. If he has some type of developed issues, obviously they want to keep it private. And the reason why he's probably not around everybody is because he probably has development issues, if he does, or he's probably one of those kids that don't do well with all of the things that come with his parents being so famous. And so that's just common sense. I mean, look at how Michael Jackson had to cover his kids up with blankets and stuff like that because of what the celebrities, you know, what being so famous came with. And how he had to even have kids in the kind of way that he did it because it was just too much to be that rich and that famous. So for Jason Lee to, if there's any medical records that they are trying to keep private and whatever the case may be, during his development, if he did leak anything, however he was able to get access to that, that sounds kind of malicious. So I wonder why he would do that, if he's just mean like that, or did they cause him to be like, want to be like a tit for tat? Like, I'm trying to figure out what was the purpose of him even exposing any hint to Sir's development and behavior health or whatever. Well, like what was the goal of that? Like, what do you want to get out of that? Anyway, moving forward, now you supposed to be have stole millions of dollars. Now this is a YouTuber who talks about Jason Lee's arrest for supposedly stealing millions. So let's go ahead and give this a look, because honestly, I really don't get the point of why people talk about people's kids. If Beyonce don't want her son's development information out there, if they don't want that out, why would anybody want that? That's private. Like, duh. I don't see how that would end their name. Like, when you talk about you got receipts, so whoop-de-doo. Oh, stealing self. Just stealing.
And get this, when this man was investigated and caught for stealing all that money, he jumped on the internet and allegedly accused Beyoncé and Jay-Z of setting him up. Baby, you cannot make this up. First of all, who the hell thought it was a good idea to make Jason Lee, of all people, vice mayor of Stockton? Jason Lee being a politician was the last thing on anyone's bingo card, but here we are. This entire mess makes Stockton look like a joke, and they have no one to blame but themselves. Now millions of taxpayers' money is disappearing from the city's accounts. Jason was actually elected back in November of last year to be the vice mayor of Stockton, California by the mayor, Christina Fugazi. He officially took office in January of this year, and from the looks of it, he jumped right into doing shady things, because by May of this year, he was already under investigation for allegedly embezzling $50,000 of the city's funds. He wasted no time, y'all. So what happened was, back in May, Stockton hosted a live performance of the popular TV show Wild and Out Live at Adventist Health Arena. However, the ticket sales were horrible, so the city decided to use $50,000 from its risk mitigation fund to help support the event so it wouldn't be canceled. Now, this is where things get crazy. According to the city's former interim city manager, Steve Colangelo, Jason reportedly misused that $50,000 without proper city approval. Steve went as far as calling for an internal investigation to be launched into Jason, because he believes that these $50,000 was just a portion of millions of dollars that Jason had allegedly taken out of the city's account under the guise of supporting events just like this. He also accused Jason of taking advantage of his personal relationship with the event promoters of Wild and Out to pocket some of the $50,000. As expected, Jason denied the allegations and even threatened to sue. He said he had nothing to do with the approval of that $50,000 and that the economic development director was the one who approved it. He made an Instagram post with the caption, "A few weeks ago, I got tipped off that there was a conspiracy brewing claims that I brought Wild and Out to Stockton and influenced decisions so Nick Cannon, my friends, and I could profit." Let's be clear. Nick and the Wild and Out team came to Stockton as a favor to me to turn this city up and prove that we deserve world-class partnerships like Nick, Rip Michaels, and 5120 Entertainment. The attacks on our hardworking city staff for simply doing their jobs? Beyond disappointing. Today, we agendized it in the audit committee, and it was crickets. Instead, management praised Wild and Out for their professionalism, and our community loved every moment. Clips are coming soon, but let me say this. To my haters, if you can't outwork me in policy, opportunity, or inspiration, work harder, because making up lies to do reputational harm won't work when I've got the heart of the people. Jason also said he believes that these allegations against him are part of a retaliatory campaign against him because he raised questions about the city finances in his role as chair of the audit committee. Baby, Jason Lee is out here using everything he can to get off this mess. He also demanded a public apology and a $25,000 lawsuit for damages for defamation, emotional distress, harm to reputation, if they don't retract the allegations. Now, while all this mess was going on, some folks were side-eyeing the entire situation, claiming that Beyoncé and Jay-Z were the ones allegedly setting Jason Lee up because he has been exposing them ever since this mess with Diddy started. And guess what? Jason seemingly confirmed that Bey and Jay were in fact behind it. You see, Jason has been on Beyoncé and Jay-Z's neck for a hot minute now. The first time he came for them was when he threatened to expose incriminating evidence against Beyoncé after she didn't invite him to her Renaissance film premiere.
I'm gonna tell them while Johnny puts a beep over this part of the show, so you'll never know what it is, but I want you to see their reactions, and I'm going to do it right now.
home looks like from space? Enter your address and get a 360-degree satellite.
Ooh, and that's where I go back to, like, we're friends in the game. We support each other. We help each other out. Can you imagine had I put that on Hollywood Law? Oh, there's one more thing. Beat this, Johnny.
Woo!
So that in itself, I think Beyonce could have gave me a, you know what I mean? Like, there should be a little love there. Now,
maybe she doesn't know.
Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce, they're not going to share that with her.
Yvette knows. I got the receipts. I still have the receipts. Yvette know I got the receipts. I got them. Now, if I get that message to Beyonce,
yes,
I can get it to me. Oh, I'm connected. I could get the message to Beyonce.
She needs to know.
And I think people like her publicist, who I love, and I'm just being critical. That's just what I do. You know that, Yvette, we're trying to book Kelly Rowland right now. Now, if I don't get Kelly Rowland because I say this about, then it's gonna be a problem. Then I'm putting out receipts. The receipts I just told you about, then I'll put those out.
He like messy, and he feel it's like he's salty because his ego was bruised about Beyonce not inviting him to, but like, huh? I don't get it. Bro, don't be so sensitive.
The fires that will come of that.
I ain't going nowhere.
Honestly, it sounded like the only reason he was throwing shade at Beyonce was because she didn't invite him. But once people found out the alleged ties Beyonce and Jay had to Diddy, suddenly everybody was like, hold up, maybe that's what he was onto something this whole time. Jason Lee came back with more allegations about Beyonce and Jay when he jumped on Instagram Live to reveal the list of the people he personally saw at Diddy's parties. He called out Tiana Taylor, Jordan Woods, Travis Scott, Usher, DaBaby, Justin Bieber, Tyrese, Amber Rose, Mary J. Blige, and of course, Beyonce and Jay-Z.
You know, a lot of these celebrities, every single phone, text messages. I can read you my text message to Diddy. What day is it airing on the show, on the network? Are you coming on the show? Diddy, what's this? It's all been business for me. It's been business for me. So you mean to tell me all those late nights, what you doing, where you at? I've seen Jay-Z at his house. I've seen Jakes at his house. I've seen Chris Brown at his house. I've seen Jordan Woods at his house. I've seen Travis Scott at his house. I've seen Beyonce at his house. I've seen Tiana Taylor. I've seen them all. Now, we was all in the backyard, but I've seen them all. I've seen Usher there. I've seen DaBaby there. I've seen Justin Bieber there. I've seen them all up in there. Mary J. Blige.
Beyonce of allegedly sending their goons after him after hearing the comments he made about them. He said Beyonce and Jay had been allegedly blowing up his line, trying to get him to clear up what he said about them and even speak on their behalf, but he said no. He also claimed that he blocked a major damaging story from ever coming out about them, but they still acted like he didn't exist.
Why would I, Jason Lee, I'm getting calls, and I haven't even said anything. They ain't called me to go to the Rock Nation brunch. They haven't called me to go to the Gold Party.
To accept being honored.
They haven't called me when we offered to honor Jay-Z at the award show. They didn't call me to go to the press conference about striking the deal with the NFL while we were kneeling for Kaepernick. They didn't call me to ask me what I thought about her hair care product. They didn't call me to offer circulated, making it look like I've been chasing her around like a super fan, which I am a super fan, but I chased nobody. Nobody's called me to.
Oh, and you also stopped.
We're not going to even go there. I stopped a major thing for Beyonce. Didn't even get it. Thank you.
But so
why is everybody calling me now? Because I'm a firefighter. Beyonce, why is everybody calling me now?
Oh, and you also stopped.
We're not going to even go there.
Stop what? What did you stop? Because it's given very much so Jason Lee is feeling some type of way because he did something for Beyonce, like that was kind of probably like on a personal level, out of like, girl, I'm a big fan, so I'm gonna look out for you on this, and I'm just letting you know, like, I'm gonna do that for you because you Beyonce. But also as a networking technique as well. And so when it came to like when things were happening with the A-list celebrities and stuff like that, he wasn't invited. They didn't include him on the conversations. They wasn't taking him to the brunches and the So he was like, oh, okay, it's cool. I see how you move, because when I did that thing for you, I thought that I was going to get some type of reward in terms of like maybe you will invite me here or invite me there. Because sometimes when it comes to people in Hollywood, especially like in business period, you sometimes do favors as a networking technique. If you know, you know. And I think that that's what happened with Jason Lee, from my understanding, based off of what I've been watching so far, is Jason Lee did something for Beyonce and thought that was going to be a networking thing, and it backfired. They didn't keep, they paid it. They was like, whatever, you know, like they, you know, because they rich, you know. JayZ, he like a billionaire. JayZ rich. He probably didn't even, they overlooked whatever little favor that was that he did for them. Or was it a little favor? Because Jason Lee, the way he making it seem like it was kind of big, and if he wouldn't have did that, then it probably would have been bad for them, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. But what I do know, that was a networking technique that he did, and he feeling some type of way that they didn't show him any like love when it came to the events that followed up after that. You know what I'm saying? So now they're reaching out to him, like based off of this interview, which this interview was a little while ago. Now they're reaching out to him, trying to get him to clear things in the air and talk about certain things. But he's like, oh, y'all just call me for favors and stuff like that, but y'all don't be including me on y'all little brunches and y'all little business meetings, and or not even business meetings, but business outings, should I say. And he's like, no. You know, he feeling real salty or whatever the case may be. So I think I can see where he's coming from on that. But first of all, what that got to do with you stealing from Stockton? Don't do Cali like that. Come on, Jason.
I stopped a major thing for Beyonce. Didn't even get a thank you.
But so
why is everybody calling me now? Because I'm a firefighter. Because I run towards fires and I put them out, or I fan the flames. But why is everybody calling me now? And that's the problem that I have with this whole situation. But I am going to save this conversation for JayZ. JayZ, you're watching. I know you're watching, because you got people calling me. Stop having people call me. You can call me yourself. You know how to get my number. You know, you got people calling me. Call me yourself, because this right here is going to go viral. The way my job works on the internet, everybody's going to be clipping, sharing on TikTok. Watch this. Do your thing, TikTok. JayZ and Beyonce is going to see this. I am exhausted with people calling me about JayZ and Beyonce. You've never called for anything else, and I haven't even said anything about you yet. And yet I'm getting all these calls. I've got more calls over the weekend about JayZ and Beyonce. You know, I think this is an opportunity to have a bridge and have a conversation about how this thing works, because I'm not a publicist. I am not I'm just Jason, okay? And I have opinions about unlocking Hollywood. Remember I said at the top of the show, or somewhere in the show, that I was in love with the entertainment industry until I found out it was Jeffrey Dahmer. This is part of the gnawing at the wrist that the industry does. You know, black excellence, we don't show up for each other like we should. And then when the shit's about to hit the fan or some shit, you think I'm gonna go fan some shit. Now you're showing up. You know, again, I'm not angry. I'm a little disappointed, because as much as I've loved this woman for years, I told you I don't like her as much as I used to. I still love her, but I'm not as super fan like I used to be. You know how much I was this woman, this is everything. And this together is everything. But is it? I think this is an opportunity to have a conversation, because I believe that we as a culture should be very supportive of each other before this stuff happens, so that way our proximity to it can help us tell the real story. That's why we got to be working together to tell our stories. But I will tell you, to the audience, if I do come up missing, all the calls I've been getting have been about him. And listen, I haven't had any threatening calls. Nobody has said that they're going to hurt me, so I want to go on record for that.
Now, even though it's clear as day that the real reason Jason is on their neck is because they don't regard him as highly as he wants them to, he has been exposing a lot of info about them that they don't want folks to know, and now they are trying to silence him. In fact, when people started dragging Bey and Jay into this, he seemingly confirmed that they were behind his current problems when he made this post saying, not liking someone is perfectly okay, but making up lies to destroy their character is not okay. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, Jason Lee being a mayor lets me know all I need to know about the city. Another person said, I thought Beyonce running away was the most hilarious thing surrounding Jason Lee. Him being mayor takes the cake. We are truly living in strange times. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Jay?
So y'all comment down below and y'all tell me what y'all think. Do you feel like Jason Lee is just taking things too far? Do you guys feel like he's like a fan guy gone wrong? Because from my opinion, and I'm not gonna hold you guys, I think that Jason Lee is very sensitive about something that took place, that he went above and beyond. He had a bright idea in his mind. He said, look, if I do this for Beyonce, that's probably going to open doors for me. Not only am I going to be looking out for someone that I idolize in a sense, because it's like he's a fan of her, especially at that time when this originally took place. But he's also like, thought that that was going to be a business exchange, a business opportunity for him to do something, not only out the kindness of his heart, because he really do like Beyonce, but he likes what she does for the culture musically, right? But when they didn't respond to that gesture the way that he thought it would, or the way that he felt they should have, then it gave very much so he been salty. Now there's the sequence of events that took place where he keep on saying, I could say this and I got receipts for that, and I could say this and I got receipts for that, but he's not really putting it out there. So now he's getting phone calls from these people's team because they know that he is amongst these groups of individuals, and they know that he may know something, and so they have been reaching out to him to kind of clear the air on what he say he know and what he say he don't know. But now he don't want to have nothing to say, because he's like, no, now y'all only call me when y'all want me to clear the air, or when I'm doing things for y'all based off of that one gesture that I made, but y'all don't want to invite me to brunch, etc. So I feel like Jason Lee probably feel a little salty, and that's what got him in this real big pickle. Now, in terms of how he just started stealing millions of dollars from the Stockton of California, or the city of Stockton in California, whatever the case may be, Jason, we need some answers. How did you even, first of all, being mayor or vice mayor, whatever the case may be, congratulations on your accomplishment on that, because I know that that's not something that's just handed. And I know people be like, oh, we're in a weird situation and we're in a weird time or whatever. But obviously, Jason Lee is more than just reality show host. He has other things under his belt that he can venture off to. Now, did he take advantage of that? And did he really do what they said he did for Wild 'N Out? And is he using the city's money to make ends meet in his celebrity lifestyle? I don't know, but that's what it's given. And Jason Lee, you wrong for that, because these people really be, especially in Stockton, those people really need someone who genuinely care, because I'm from California. Don't do that. God don't like ugly. Speaking of which, I want you guys to head over to the book of Exodus with Yiguel. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female servant, his ox, or his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. What is wrong with you, Jason? Now, you know you too old for that. Stealing, that ain't even like you. What's going on? And then it's written in the word. That's a commandment. Now, you say you a Christian man. You say you believe in God. You better repent. No, but in all seriousness, y'all, that talking about people and giving false testimony and stealing and taking from your neighbor and doing all of this underhand shade and stealing and taking and all that, those are commandments that you are breaking in the eyes of the Lord. So that comes back on you 10 times fold, and that's not good. When it do come back on you, the Lord's wrath will be upon you, especially if you call yourself one of his, Jason. And no shade. And we're going to pray for our brother, because one thing I can say about Jason Lee, I think that Jason Lee is a good host, and the fact that he was able to become vice mayor says that he got other things under his belt, that he's a professional, he's a businessman. So shout out to him on that. But we want to pray that he is released from these allegations, that these allegations are lies, and that he can kind of simmer down when it comes to this like fan guy gone wrong with the whole Beyonce and JayZ thing, because it's given very much so the way that the media is painting, that he's just some fan that's just going crazy. And I know that it's not given that. I know that there's some things happening behind the scenes, but there's a way to go about that. You are very strong, smart, talented individual. So let's not be, childish and not handle it wisely. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Be very strategic. And if you're doing this with good intentions, then allow the Lord to guide you on those decisions, to make sure that if there are people in power that are trying to do harm to you or harm your business or whatever the case may be, allow it to be revealed gracefully and wisely for the safety of you and other individuals that you may be associated with. Because I've heard about some threats of Jay-Z, how he worked. You know, I watch his Jaguar, right? Okay, so that's what I have to say about that. And you know what, Jason Lee, we pray in the name of Jesus that you get delivered and freed from whatever is causing you to be in this bit of a pickle that you're in, okay? It's your girl, Cassie King, and I am out. Hugs and kisses, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.